Hello, it's Holly with Ivy Creations, and today I'm working on a Stretch the Sketch layout, as well as following a Sketch February, and doing, of course, my H2KAKWS style. So today on Stretch the Sketch, I have this sketch here created by Page Maps, and I am also using up a bunch of cut-aparts. So it's going to translate differently. It's how it always does. What I'm doing here is I'm just using my peacock feathers to add some color to this white paper. And it warped like crazy because it was not thick paper. This is super thin, cheap paper that you get in your albums when you buy new albums. So yeah, I was using that. Then I cut out all of these cut-aparts that have summer sayings on them because I'm doing summer photos. And this sketch got stretched into a double. And so what I should have done was flipped it so that the stripes were on the top and then put the cut-aparts on top of the stripes and left the blue at the bottom. But I didn't think of that until right now. And so I really wanted these cut-aparts to be up on the top. I kind of wanted them to fill in the gaps, but also kind of go together and be like a pattern paper. But then I had empty spaces, and so the layout that I was trying to do was bothering me, but I eventually figured it out and I stuck down my photos. I used foam for the two photos on the sides, just so that I could overlap and give it a little bit of dimension. But I do love these two photos. And I do end up like gluing little bits down because the paper got so warped. So yeah, the gluing definitely needed to happen. I did manage to get 6 cut-aparts on this page though. And then I just started filling gaps with all the extra little bits that I had. And trying to make clusters while still filling in spaces. Also using my kit. February is stickers, and I have a bunch of stickers still left over from my January kit. So I am just trying to make things work and stick things in places. This right-hand page cluster area bit above my mom's head became a hot mess, and I wasn't sure what I was doing. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but it all kind of came together in the end. It was just a process to get it there. I tried to turn the bottom half of this chipboard tag into another tag, and it kind of worked. But it's like orange on orange, and so I don't know how much I like it, but it looks fine. And then I'm also using up the last of my little adhesive brads that I have here. And I actually really like the way that the layout came together, because everything worked after a fashion. Once I got my bottom cluster set, then it wasn't so difficult to get things to fall into place. I added string for my tags, and that was an ordeal and a half because my cat has eaten my string and stolen it, so I had to find more because I had a little bit set out so that I could just keep it. But this string is cotton, and so it has multiple layers, and if you get the tip wet and then pull it apart, you can get all of the different fibers apart. She was helping me. She wanted to hold one end while I separated it. So I was able to get it through eventually with her help and create that tag string. I did eventually peel the back off of the tag because they were just a bit too thick behind the photo, and I just glued them down. It made things a lot easier. And I like the way the cluster turned out at the top. It blends in with that "There's sunshine in my soul today" card, and so it makes me happy. I then fussed more with the glue. Everything was kind of popping up and popping off, and it was driving me a little bit nuts, and I had to actually walk away from this layout. It was just taking so long to do it. This layout took me like 2 days, but like 2 hours on each day to like fuss together and sort out, basically. I think it's because I didn't pull anything to start with. I had to sit there and go through all the bits and pieces in order to find stuff to work. And it didn't help that her furry butt kept wanting to sit on top of my layout. So I eventually found these pieces to go together in a cluster. And once I got that one cluster on the left-hand side down, then I had a little bit more idea of what I was going to do. I have these 3D pieces, like the seashells are paper, but the starfish are acrylic. And so I was able to put them into clusters, and I finally got them used up. They have been in my collection since, like, my craft stuff since the 90s. So I was super glad to use them. And once I got that side down, the other came together a lot easier. So please don't forget to check out the description box below for everyone who's playing along with Stretch the Sketch, Follow a Sketch February, How to Kill a Cat with Style, and thank you so much for spending your time with me today.